Welcome to this course on mastering Claude Code. I'm excited to have you here because what you're about to learn is going to fundamentally change how you approach software development. Now, before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you ever used GitHub Copilot or other AI coding tools? If you have, I want you to set aside what you might know about AI-assisted development for just a moment. Because Claude Code is different, very different. What is Claude Code? Claude Code is an agentic coding tool that lives right in your terminal. It's not an autocomplete tool. It's not suggesting the next line of code as you type. Instead, think of it as having a senior developer sitting right next to you, pair programming with you in real time. Let me break down what agentic means here. When I say Claude Code is agentic, I mean it can understand your entire code base, plan out solutions before writing code, execute tasks autonomously, make decisions about architecture and implementation, use tools and run commands. It can even take screenshots for you and do a lot of things. Even create pull requests and manage Git workflows, just to mention a few. It's actively helping you build. Now, you might be thinking, wait, isn't Claude just the chatbot I use in Claude.ai? Well, yes and no. Claude on the web is like talking to a consultant. You describe your problem, it gives you advice, maybe some code snippets, and then you go implement it. Claude Code is different. It's like hiring that consultant to actually work with you. It can read your actual project files because now it has access to your entire code base. It can edit files directly, run terminal commands, execute tests, create commits, and do all of this in the context of your specific code base. It's amazing. The web interface is conversational. Claude Code is operational. Here's why having Claude Code or having Claude in your terminal is so powerful for developers. Because when you actually install Claude Code, you're going to have the ability to use the CLI version or the command line interface and the graphical user interface. So there is the CLI, there is a GUI, and we're going to get into those shortly. First, let's talk a little bit about why the terminal based interface is powerful. First, it meets you where you already work. You remember, if you ever used ChatGPT, you ever used Claude web interface, you would have to switch between the chat interface on the web and your actual IDE, your code editor, let's say Visual Studio Code, and you go back and forth. That's not very smooth. So let's go over this. Okay, so you're not context switching between a chat window and your IDE. When you have Claude in your terminal, Claude is right there in your development environments. That's number one. Second, it has full access to your development tools, Git, NPM, testing frameworks, linters. Claude can use all of these just like you would. Third, it understands context in a way that autocomplete tools simply can't. When you ask Claude to add authentication to this app, it can read your existing code, understand your architecture, choose appropriate libraries, implement the solution, write tests, and create a pull request. I do really want to explain what I mean by the agentic coding paradigm versus autocomplete tools. With autocomplete tools like Copilot, you're still driving. You write a comment, it suggests code. You accept or reject. You're in control of every line. It's reactive. Wonderful. With Claude Code, you're delegating. You describe what you want, build a user authentication system with email and password, for instance, that's your prompt, and Claude takes initiative. It plans the approach, asks clarifying questions if needed, implements the solution, tests it, and presents it to you for review. That's being proactive. Think of it this way. Copilot is autocomplete on steroids. Claude Code is a junior developer who's really fast and never gets tired. Now, I'm not saying one is better than the other for all situations. Sometimes you want autocompletes. That's fine. But when you're building features, debugging complex issues, or factoring code, having an agentic partner changes everything. The satisfaction you get from using Claude Code would make you stick with it and not go back to switching between your chat interface and your IDE. Now we need to understand the costs because Claude Code is not free. Claude Code uses the Claude API under the hood, so you're paying for the actual AI usage based on tokens. That's the units of text that Claude processes. Now the good news is that if you subscribe to Claude Pro, which is about $20 per month, you get extended usage limits that are honestly quite generous for individual developers. For most people learning and building projects, Claude Pros is the way to go. However, if you're planning to use this extensively or in a team environment, you'll want to monitor your API usage, and we're looking at that very shortly. Anthropic provides a usage dashboard, and I highly recommend you check it regularly, especially when you're first starting out. So let me show you something that will help you develop good habits from day one. It's very important you have the API usage awareness. Once you're set up, and we'll do this in a moment, you can view your API usage at the Anthropic console. I want you to bookmark this page and check it weekly when you're learning. You don't necessarily have to do that, but I'm just trying to let you know that you should once in a while look at that to be able to understand certain things and understand your usage patterns, because this is going to help you budget appropriately, learn to write efficient prompts, understand when to clear context and start fresh, make informed decisions about when to use Claude versus when to code manually. Alright, for anyone following this course, I strongly recommend you subscribe to Claude Pro, and I'm going to take it to the browser in a little bit. Here's why. The Pro subscription gives you higher usage limits on Claude API, priority access during high traffic times, access to the latest models. If we come over here at claude.com/pricing to just check out the pricing, you're going to see that we have the free plan over here, we have the Pro plan, and we have the Max plan. Now, for you to be able to use Claude Code, you need either the Pro plan or the Max plan. We're going to go through this very quickly. The free plan over here does not give you access to Claude Code at the time of this recording. So you're going to have to get this plan, the Pro plan. I currently use this one. If you're thinking about what I use this Pro plan currently, and that's fine. If you want something more, you could check out this one. So this is everything in Pro plus choose 5 times 20 times more usage than Pro, higher output limits for all tasks, memory across conversations, early access to advanced Claude features, priority access at high traffic times. Alright, so that's just you just having a couple of more things added on top of this. But this is fine if you're just starting out. You can start off with the Pro plan. Okay, and you're going to be able to do a lot with it. And the model I use, we're going to get into that very soon. I use the Sonnet 4.5. There is a Opus model there, but that one, whenever you use it, it literally eats up a lot of your tokens real fast. Alright, but you can always use it when you have something super complex you want to work in, and you just need the Opus model to actually help you out do that, so that's fine. All right, all you gotta do is to come over here. You want to log in, okay? Once you logged into Claude Code, you want to upgrade your account. Come over here, upgrade your account, and make the payments, and you're gonna be good to go. All right. So once you do that, we're gonna be able to install it next. Okay, let's get to that part. You can literally open your terminal, like command prompt, PowerShell, whatever you use, or you can use the embedded terminal in your Visual Studio Code if you're going to be using Visual Studio Code. I'm going to be using Visual Studio Code, so let's do that. All right. So over here, if I went to, let's say, settings, and I go to Claude Code, and you see this install instructions here link. You click there to open this. This opens up, and you're gonna see that we are here, the Claude Code docs. And over here, we have the macOS for Linux installation guide, and we have Windows and Homebrew and NPM. So I'm just gonna click on NPM. All you need to do would be for you to copy this and go paste it in your terminal and hit enter. This is gonna install Claude Code globally. So all you need to do would be for you to copy this. Okay. So I'm gonna open up my terminal, paste that, and hit enter. This is gonna install Claude Code for you globally, but I'm not gonna do that because I already installed Claude Code. Once you're done installing Claude Code, you wanna be sure by checking out the version. So all you gotta do would be to run Claude, and let me just increase this a little bit for you guys. I'm gonna say Claude space hyphen version. You know that you can just do hyphen v, and that's fine. Hit enter, and you're gonna see the version of Claude Code that you actually have installed right there, 2.0.60. Okay. Next would be for you to actually hit Claude. So if you typed in Claude, just type in Claude, and this is going to help you authenticate, because right now you want to be able to use Claude Code right here in your IDE. We're using Visual Studio Code, so we want to be able to use it here, and we need to make sure that we are fully authenticated. So I'm going to hit Claude and hit enter. If it's your first time running this code, it's gonna be a little bit different. Okay, of course you're gonna see this. Do you trust the files in this folder? I'm gonna hit yes, proceed, and for you, you're gonna have to just go with the defaults. It's gonna ask you a couple of questions, and you're gonna go through that, and once you're done, it's gonna welcome you aboard, and you're gonna be good to go. Okay, and you're gonna get into this interface. Before we start building anything, I want to save you from some frustration by covering the most common mistakes people make when starting with Claude Code. Pitfall 1: authentication issues. Forgetting to authenticate. If Claude Code isn't working and you're getting authentication errors, the fix is simple. You just simply type Claude auth login, and I'm going to show you that. So go to IDE, and I'm going to exit out of this interface without opening another terminal window, and I'm going to click quit. Hit enter. So all you need to do would be to type Claude auth login. You hit that, and you're going to be sure that you're authenticated. But this is literally the same thing as typing Claude, because the very first time you type Claude, you're going to have to authenticate yourself and go through that process. So it's the same thing as actually just typing Claude and initiating that auth. All right, so let's go back to our browser. All right, so let's talk about the next one. File system access security. It's just something to know. And this is a big one. Not understanding that Claude Code has full file system access. When you run Claude Code in a directory, it can read, write, and delete files in that directory. This is by design. It needs this access to help you code, but it means you need to be mindful. You don't want to run Claude Code in directories with sensitive information unless you fully trust what you're asking it to do. And definitely don't run it in your root directory or home directory on your first try. On your first try, an approach could be what we're gonna go through in a little bit, switching to a different branch and working from there. Anyways, once you understand everything and you're comfortable with it, then you can do whatever you want. Okay, you want to make sure that you use project specific directories. This isn't just security best practice, it also helps Claude focus on the relevant code without getting distracted by unrelated files. All of these things I'm saying, we're going to get into them as we go on. Something else is expecting instant awe. Alright? Expecting instant awesomeness without proper prompting. Look, Claude Code is incredibly powerful, but it's not telepathic. If you say, make my app better, it's going to ask you what you mean. If you say, fix the bug, it needs to know what the bug is and where the bug is. You see, the quality of Claude's help is directly proportional to the quality of your communication. You'll learn this as we go through the course, but I want to set this expectation now. Claude Code is a tool that amplifies your abilities. You still need to guide it. Think of it like this. A senior developer can help you way more if you say, I'm getting a null pointer exception in the user authentication flow when users don't have a profile picture, versus my code is broken. I mean, when you say my code is broken, that's super vague. They don't know what to do necessarily, But when you say something specific, you give context, clear context to the situation, to the problem, then you have a better solution to that. Same principle here. You get it? Good. So these pitfalls, authentication, security awareness, and prompting are the ones I see triple beginners constantly. Now you know about them, so you won't be one of those people. Alright, enough theory. Let's actually use Claude Code. Alright, so we're gonna get back into Claude, and I'm gonna do that by typing Claude. I'm gonna hit enter, and it's gonna open up the interface for us. Let's just prompt it a little bit. We're gonna say yes. And just before we do that, I'm gonna open up one of my code bases. Alright, do not worry about the fact that we have a lot of things going on here. This is just a project I was working on, and we're gonna use it to help us learn better. So I'm gonna open up the terminal and just close this. Now obviously you've already seen that we have a bunch of things going on here. Don't worry about this Claude.md file. I'll tell you about it in a little bit. Right, so over here I'm gonna ask it, we're gonna go into Claude. Alright, so I'm gonna ask it to, or I'm gonna rather say, give me a summary of what this is about. So I'm asking Claude right now to give me a summary of what this project is about. It's gonna go through the entire code base and tell me what's going on here. Alright, right now we can see that we have something here. Claude says, deploy faster project summary. Deploy Faster is a website template marketplace where users can browse, search, and purchase prepaid website templates. Core features: template marketplace, templates across 9 categories: portfolio, e-commerce, business, restaurant, agency blocks SaaS, real estate, and energy and industrial rather. Advanced client-side search with fuzzy matching and relevance, scoring, category filtering, and pagination, and all of these wonderful things. Multi-currency support. Okay, good. So it gives us a very summarized, a very good summarized version of the project and what it's about. You see, it's breaking down everything, and this is very good. We have the tech stack over here. We understand, okay, for the front end, we're using Next.js, we're using AI Prouder, React TypeScript, styling, Tailwind CSS, the V4 with custom animations. We've got a CMS Sanity for content management. And for email, we're using the recent API. And hosting Claude for images. Not in all places because I actually worked in the project, but yeah, pretty much that. And Sanity and Claudinary are actually working together. Anyways, but it gives us a pretty good summary of this, and it says the platform focuses on providing a smooth browsing experience with instant client-side search and flexible pricing options for customers worldwide. That's wonderful. And you could just dive in and keep asking the questions, and it's just gonna help you understand really what this project is about. Let's assume that you jumped on a project from a while back, or assuming that it's someone else's projects, you should be able to just jump on, and without going through all the files, all the directories, you just want to ask Claude Code, hey, you got access to everything, you have access to the entire code base, let me understand what's going on here rather, and it's just gonna let you know very nicely, just like this. Okay, so for now, I'm gonna write quit because I want to quit it for now. Alright, let's recap what we've covered in this foundation module. You now understand what Claude Code is and how it differs from other AI tools, the agentic coding paradigm, why terminal-based AI is powerful for developers, the cost structure, and how to monitor usage. Did we talk about how to monitor usage? Let's take a look at that, even though I did look forward to showing you guys that later on, but let's do it right now. There is a couple of ways to do this. Over here, if I were to go to settings and here, usage, you're going to be able to see how much you've used, and you can see that I haven't actually even used a lot yet, just 3% for the current session, and it's going to reset in 4 hours 8 minutes time. Right, that's one way to check it out. Another way would be for you to actually go to your terminal, and I'm just gonna quickly open that, and with the terminal you can just type in a command and it's just gonna show you usage right here. Whereas if you wanted to do that using GUI, the graphical user interface, we're gonna take a look at it ourselves. All right, so right now I'm going to type / and I should show you more about this. You know what's going on here. Now you can see a couple of things here. We'll talk about them later. But right now I'm going to type usage right there, and you can say usage / usage would show plan usage limits. All right, so I'm going to hit that, and we're going to see that currently we've used 3%. So this is the current session. Literally the same thing we saw in our browser. So that's how to check your usage. Okay, so I'm going to click exit to exit out of this, and yep. Okay, so once more you learned about Claude Code, what it is and how it differs from other AI tools, the agentic coding paradigm, why terminal-based AI is powerful for developers, the cost structure and how to monitor usage, how to install and set up Claude Code, common pitfalls to avoid, and you've had your first successful interaction. What's next? In the next module, we're going to dive into building real projects or modifying projects and working on a real project, the one I already opened for you. We're gonna run it and see how it looks like and edit it and do wonderful stuff. All right, so that's gonna be really wonderful. So we're gonna start with a customer. Okay, well, let's get to that and we'll explore all of the things that we're gonna do there. Going on, we're gonna do wonderful things in the next module. So I'll see you there.